The average Australian retires with about $450,000 in super. Sounds decent, right? Except the official numbers say you need $630,000 just to live comfortably as a single retiree. That's a $180,000 gap. And for couples, it's even worse. If you've ever wondered whether you're on track or quietly worried that you're falling behind, you're not alone. Millions of Australians are in the exact same position, and most of them have no idea what the real number actually is. Today, I'm going to break down exactly how much you need invested to retire in Australia, using real data from ASFA, the ATO, and the ASX, so you can finally stop guessing and start planning. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The median super balance across all Australians is somewhere around $70,000 to $80,000. Not the average, the median. Meaning half of all Australians have less than that. And the gender gap makes it worse. Women retire with roughly 25 to 30% less super than men. At age 60, the average bloke has about $396,000. The average woman? $313,000. Neither of those hits the comfortable retirement target. And that's just super. Most people don't have significant investments outside of super either. No ETF portfolio. No dividend stocks. Maybe some equity in a home. But you can't eat your house. The real problem isn't that people are lazy or bad with money. It's that nobody sits them down and shows them the actual numbers. How much does a comfortable retirement actually cost? How much do you need invested to generate that income? And what's the gap between where you are now and where you need to be? Without those answers, retirement feels like this vague, terrifying thing that you'll deal with later. And later turns into too late. So let's put real numbers on this. ASFA, the Association of Superannuation Funds of Australia, publishes what they call the Retirement Standard. It's the most widely used benchmark in the country. As of the latest update, a comfortable retirement for a single person costs about $54,840 per year. For a couple, it's $77,375. That covers private health insurance, a decent car, regular dining out, annual domestic holidays, and an overseas trip every few years. Not lavish, just comfortable. A modest retirement is cheaper, around $35,000 for singles and $51,000 for couples. But modest means no car replacement fund, no overseas travel, limited entertainment. It's getting by, not living. The gap between modest and comfortable is roughly $20,000 a year for a single person. That 20 grand is the difference between replacing your car when it breaks down and hoping it lasts another year. Between visiting the grandkids interstate and watching them grow up on FaceTime. Here's the thing that changes everything. Once you know the annual number you need, you can work backwards to figure out how much you need invested. And that's where most people get it wrong. They think retirement is about having a big pile of money. It's not. It's about having enough invested to generate the income you need every single year without running out. All right, let's do the actual math. There are three main paths to funding your retirement in Australia, and most people will use a combination of all three. Path 1 is superannuation. This is the backbone. ASFA says you need $630,000 in super at age 67 for a comfortable single retirement. For a couple, it's $730,000 combined. These numbers assume you own your home outright and you're eligible for a part-age pension. If you don't own your home, you'd need to add roughly another $200,000 to cover rent for the rest of your life. Your employer puts in 12% of your salary as the super guarantee. On an $80,000 salary, that's $9,600 a year going into super before you do anything. Over a 40-year career with average returns of around 7 to 8%, that alone could get you past $600,000. But here's the catch. Most people don't work 40 continuous years at the same salary. Career breaks, part-time work, low-paying early jobs, parental leave. All of these create gaps that compound over decades. Path 2 is investing outside super. This is where ETFs and dividend stocks come in. The ASX 200, through a broad ETF, currently pays a dividend yield of around 3.4%. with franking credits adding roughly another one to 1.5%. Your effective yield is closer to 4.5 to 5%. So if you wanted to generate $54,000 a year purely from dividends alone outside of super, you'd need roughly 1.1 to 1.2 million invested. That sounds massive. But remember, that's the number if dividends were your only income source. Nobody actually does it that way. You combine it with super and the pension. Even 100,000 invested outside super generating 4 to 5,000 a year in dividends can make a real difference to your retirement lifestyle. And the best part about investing outside super is flexibility. You can access it anytime. You don't have to wait until you're 67. That's your bridge money if you want to retire before preservation age. Path 3 is the age pension. And this is the one most people forget to factor in. If your assets and income are below certain thresholds, you'll qualify for a full or part age pension from the government. The full single pension is currently around $31,000 a year. That's a significant chunk of the $55,000 you need for a comfortable retirement. So if you've got enough super and investments to cover the remaining $24,000 per year gap, you're sorted. That means you might actually need far less total savings than those scary headline numbers suggest. Now, the pension does have asset and income tests. The more you have in super and investments, the less pension you get. But for most Australians who aren't sitting on millions, the pension provides a meaningful base income that takes a lot of pressure off your personal savings. Let me put this all together with a real example. Say you're 67, you own your home, and you've got $500,000 in super. You draw down about 5% a year. That gives you $25,000. You also qualify for a part age pension of maybe $15,000 based on your asset level. And you've got a small share portfolio outside super paying $3,000 to $4,000 a year in dividends. Add it up, that's $43,000 to $44,000 a year. You're sitting right between modest and comfortable. Now imagine you'd salary sacrificed an extra $5,000 a year into super during your 40s and 50s. That alone could have pushed your balance past $600,000 and bumped your total retirement income well into comfortable territory. The point is, you don't need to be a millionaire. You need a combination of super, pension, and even a small investment portfolio working together. So, what do you actually do with all this? 3 steps. Step 1, check your super balance today. Log into your funds app or go to my.gov.au and check your balance right now. Then use ASIC's Money Smart Retirement Calculator to see where you'll land at 67 based on your current trajectory. That number might shock you, but it's the wake-up call you need. And while you're in there, check if you've got multiple super accounts. The ATO says Australians have over 7 million lost or duplicate super accounts worth nearly $19 billion. Consolidating into one fund could save you thousands in unnecessary fees over your lifetime. Step 2. Boost your super before June 30. The concessional contributions cap is $30,000 per year, including your employer's contributions. If your employer puts in $10,000, you can salary sacrifice up to $20,000 more. Every extra dollar goes in at 15% tax instead of your marginal rate, which could be 30 or even 37%. That's an instant return just from the tax savings. And here's something most people miss. If you've got unused cap from previous years and your total super balance is under $500,000, you can carry forward up to 5 years of unused caps. That means you could potentially contribute well over $30,000 in a single year and get a massive tax deduction. But the unused cap from the 2021 financial year expires permanently on June 30 this year. Use it or lose it. Step 3. Start investing outside super. Even small amounts compound massively over decades. $200 a month into a broad Australian ETF from age 30, with average returns of around 8%, could grow to close to $500,000 by age 67. That's your supplementary income stream that sits alongside super and the pension. The earlier you start, the less you need to put in each month. And unlike super, you can access this money anytime. If you want to retire at 60 instead of 67, this is how you bridge the gap. Here's the thing most people get wrong about retirement. They see a number like 630,000 and they shut down. It feels impossible. But when you break it into super plus pension, plus even a small investment portfolio, the picture changes completely. You don't need to be a millionaire to retire comfortably in Australia. You need a plan, some consistency, and enough time for compound interest to do the heavy lifting. If you're 25, you've got over 40 years. If you're 40, you've still got 27. Even if you're 50, a decade of focused effort can dramatically change your outcome. The math works. You just have to work the math. If this helped you see retirement differently, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.